After 5 months in a coma, an incredible kiss from a young nurse revealed a hidden love that sparked the town's hope. Tom had always been the heartbeat of Milltown. At 30, he was more than just the local mechanic, he was a brother, a friend, and a steadfast pillar of his working-class community. But everything changed in a matter of seconds when a tragic accident, an engine falling, a misplaced tool sent him into a deep, dark coma. The weight of uncertainty settled over his sister, Sarah, pressing heavily on her chest as she clutched her phone, memorizing the messages of love and support from neighbors. They dropped off casseroles and cupcakes. They prayed in circles under the flickering lights of the church, igniting a palpable hope amid the despair. Meanwhile, in the sterile white of the hospital, time slowed to a crawl. Each day, Emily, the compassionate nurse from a neighboring town, drifted into Tom's world. Every shift, she found herself leaning closer to him, her whispers strong and full of life. She spoke of their hometown, the laughter of children, the way autumn leaves crunched underfoot at the edge of Main Street. She watched for even the smallest flicker of awareness in his still, calm face. After 5 agonizing months, the universe shifted the air electric with the possibility of hope. As she bent closer, laying a gentle kiss on his forehead, something sparked. The room filled with quickened breaths as Tom's eyes fluttered open, revealing confusion, yet a glimmer of warmth. "Tom." Emily's voice broke through the silence like a clear bell. His heart raced, confusion creeping in as he awoke to a world half-formed, a life he didn't fully recognize. But a hidden thrill pulsed through him, igniting buried feelings he had always tucked away. Sarah couldn't believe it. She broke down in relief, a momentary embrace of light that radiated through the dim hospital room. Still regaining strength, Tom discovered Emily was more than just a caring figure in scrubs. She was vibrant, with dreams as wild as the wind. But here lay a tangled web. Sarah needed him, the town needed him, could he dare to dream of something more? Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Days turned into shadows of doubt, yet every visit from Emily felt like sunlight breaking through a cloudy sky. The townsfolk observed the chemistry brewing between the mechanic and the nurse, whispers curling through the air like smoke. But they weren't just onlookers, they were part of a family that stitched itself together through love and loyalty, and they felt the tension that grew. Everyone had opinions and prejudice when it came to who belonged together and who didn't. As the annual fundraiser approached, intended to uplift the town from economic gloom, Tom found himself on stage alongside Emily, their connection almost tangible. He looked at the faces in the crowd, familiar yet wary as he opened his heart. Suddenly, a shocking secret from his past surfaced, darkening his spirit and raising questions of loyalty. Tom had to decide, would he follow his heart or the expectations of those he held dear? The crowd waited, breathless, unsure of what the young mechanic's choice would mean for all of them. The future hung precariously in the balance as love, duty, and fear collided in a moment of pure suspense. The lights dimmed as Tom stood on the stage, feeling the gazes of the townsfolk drilling into him, each one an expectation, a silent plea. Emily stood to his side, her hand resting gently, offering warmth and courage. But the words caught like thorns in his throat. What should he say? How could he reconcile his tumultuous past with the warmth blossoming in his heart? "Thank you all for being here," he began, his voice a bit shaky but growing steadier with every syllable. "I've been lost for so long, and your support has been everything. It's what brought me back to this life, to this town, to the family I never truly realized I had." His eyes scanned the crowd, able to see dear faces filled with love but also those wrapped in judgment. "Emily," he motioned, turning towards her. "She's been by my side through this darkness. She showed me hope when all I could feel was fear. When I woke up, it was like being born again. A wave of soft whispers washed through the audience, stirring emotions deep within. As he paused, the secret gnawed at him, an unsettling weight that begged to be unleashed. Silence fell heavy, and for a moment, he could hear nothing but his heartbeat thumping in his ears. Memories rushed forward like a flood of water, the mistakes, the choices that led him here. Before my accident, I wasn't the person you all thought I was. I did things that hurt people, people who cared. Times when I chose myself over others. He took a breath, feeling the electric tension in the air. But I want to change. I want to be someone worthy of this town's love, someone who can give back. He turned back to Emily, drawn to the bravery that glimmered in her eyes. I want to pursue something real, something that scares me. And that something is her. The crowd shifted, murmurs filling the air, some in support, others in doubt. He could see Sarah stiffen near the front, her expression unreadable but clearly pained. How could he explain that the love he had for Emily had melded with his newfound purpose? Even now, did he betray their childhood dreams? Tom! A strong voice called from the back. The mayor, known for her unyielding backbone. That's all well and good, but we're counting on you to help us rebuild Milltown, to be the strong heart you've always been. Guilt pierced through him as doubt seeped in. Was love enough to fulfill expectations? The weight of sacrifice hung heavy on his shoulders. There was a pull between two lives, one filled with loyalty to old commitments and another bursting with the possibilities Emily opened. What do I do? Tom thought, feeling lost again in the tides of conflicting emotions. Before he could answer himself, Emily squeezed his hand tighter, gently stepping toward him. Tom, she spoke softly, you have a choice, and whatever it is, it's yours to make. Just know I'm here no matter what path you choose. The warmth of her words wrapped around him, yet his heart was still in turmoil. As he stood on that stage, he felt the tremors of change quaking beneath his feet. The hold of his past clashed against the potential of his future with Emily. What would he choose? Would he risk everything for love, or would he allow the weight of expectation to drown him yet again? As the crowd held its breath, so did Tom. His next words could change everything. Maybe, just maybe, I'll do both, he started. But before he could finish, the faint clatter of a chair falling broke the tension, drawing gasps from the crowd. He turned, eyes wide, as he witnessed someone from the back rushing forward, a distraught expression etched across their face. What had just happened, and what would it mean for Tom's heart and his future? Tom's heart raced as he turned to see who had disrupted the moment. It was Sarah, his childhood friend, her face a pale mask of fear and urgency. She stumbled over the broken chair, her hands gripping the edge of the stage as if it were a lifeline. Tom! You need to come with me now. Her voice was a frantic whisper, barely contained, but the panic in her eyes was unmistakable. Gasps swept through the crowd, confusion washing over them. Emily's grip on Tom's hand tightened, her eyes darting between him and Sarah. What is going on? Emily asked, her tone a mixture of concern and protectiveness. Tom felt the weight of the room on his shoulders, the possibilities for his future hanging in the balance. He met Sarah's gaze, and in that instant, he could see the desperation. What has happened? It's your brother, Matt, she said, her voice breaking. He's been in an accident. We didn't know until now. They just called. The last words hung in the air, heavy and suffocating. Tom's face drained of color. Memories rushed back, Matt's infectious laughter, the brotherly banter that always filled his heart with joy. The reality of Matt being hurt felt like a punch to the gut. What do you mean an accident? Tom's voice cracked. Is he okay? I don't know all the details, but you need to come. It's serious. Her eyes pleaded for him to understand. Time seemed to freeze. He could feel the eyes of the crowd burning into him, the weight of their expectation. He was meant to inspire hope, to lead Milltown forward, yet here was his brother, potentially fighting for his life. Emily stepped closer, her expression softening in an instant. "Tom, you have to go," she urged. "You can't ignore this. Matt needs you." He looked at her, the two worlds he'd been grappling with colliding with a devastating force. How could he leave when he had just begun to find himself? Yet, the thought of Matt alone in pain was unbearable. "Tom," Sarah prodded again, gripping the edge of the stage. Pleased with a deep breath, he nodded. "All right, let us go." He turned to face Emily, conflicted emotions burning in his chest. "I'm sorry." Before she could respond, he rushed toward Sarah, desperation fueling his steps. The crowd parted like the Red Sea, whispers of concern echoing behind him. In that moment, all the bravado from his speech evaporated. Nothing felt certain anymore. As they exited the hall, he could hear Emily's voice behind him, laced with both encouragement and confusion. "We'll figure this out, Tom. Just come back to me." The sound faded as they stepped outside into the crisp evening air. Sarah led him to her car, their breaths visible in the chilly atmosphere. "It's not far. Just a few streets away," she said, her voice trembling. The urgency of the drive was palpable. A knot twisted in Tom's stomach, a mix of fear and determination. He could still hear the murmurs of the crowd, their hopeful expectations lingering in the air, but each second was dominated by thoughts of Matt. What if he was too late? What if Matt didn't make it? The flood of what-ifs threatened to drown him. He had found a spark of hope in his own life, but would he lose it all again? When they finally arrived at the hospital, reality hit him like a freight train. The fluorescent lights and sterile smell sent his heart racing again, each beat echoing the life his brother might still be clinging to. "Let me do the talking," Sarah said, steering him towards the reception. But all Tom could focus on were the doors ahead, his brother behind them, and the uncertainty that loomed larger than life itself. Matt, he thought, a prayer on his lips. "Please be okay." As they approached the desk, a nurse appeared, her expression serious. "You're looking for Matt Miller?" Tom's heart thundered in his chest. "Yes. Is he all right?" The nurse hesitated, her eyes searching his. "You need to brace yourself, the situation is critical." Tom's breath hitched, fear coiling tightly around his heart. In that moment of impending darkness, a thought flickered in his mind. What if fighting for Matt meant redefining everything he had just found again? Would he still choose love if his brother's survival was on the line? Before he could voice his worries, the nurse continued, "You need to understand, if you want to see him, it's now or." "Or what?" Tom asked, his voice cracking. "Or you may not get another chance." As her words sank in, Tom realized urgency now defined his life, and he had to decide what truly mattered as he stood at the brink of the unknown. Tom started to move, every step forward feeling heavier than the last. The fluorescent lights flickered above him, casting sharp shadows against the sterile walls. There was an urgency in the air, an electric tension that amplified the thud of his heart. He had to see Matt, had to hold on to the hope threading through his fear. "Tom." Sarah's voice brought him back from the brink of despair. "Are you ready?" "Yeah," he whispered, though uncertainty gnawed at his insides. "I have to see him." They approached the designated room, the walls muffling sounds he didn't want to hear. The nurse had mentioned critical, but what did that even mean? He reached for the door, his palms slick with sweat. "Wait," Sarah said, placing a hand on his shoulder. "Just remember to breathe. He needs you strong." Tom nodded, taking a moment to center himself. Her encouragement felt like a lifeline as he braced himself against the door frame and pushed it open. The room was dim, filled with machines emitting soft beeps and humming sounds. Matt lay there, his body still and small against the vastness of the hospital bed. Tubes and wires snaked around him like vines, and his face was pale, almost haunting. A sense of helplessness washed over Tom. This wasn't his brother, this was a shell where laughter and mischief once lived. "Matt," he croaked, the word barely escaping him. He crossed the threshold, stepping softly as if the very act of walking could shatter the fragile reality. Suddenly, tears streamed down his cheeks. Tom wiped them away furiously, wanting to appear strong, wanting to show his brother he wasn't afraid. But the truth? He was terrified. "Hey, it's me, Tom," he said, his voice trembling. "I'm here. I don't know if you can hear me, but I need you to fight. Please." He leaned in closer, desperate for any sign of the brother he loved so dearly. "I need you to come back." As he spoke, he remembered all the times Matt had been his anchor, teaching him how to ride a bike, cheering him on when he played sports, and the countless nights they stayed up late making impossible plans for their future. Would those memories now be tinged with loss? Emily's words echoed in his mind. "Just come back to me." She believed in hope, and now he needed to believe as well. Then, in that vulnerable moment, Tom placed his hand over Matt's cooler than he remembered. "I know you may be scared. But I'm here. I won't leave you." Minutes stretched into what felt like hours. Tom felt a flicker of warmth as he squeezed Matt's hand, a small but powerful reminder of their connection. The machines beeped steadily, metronomes keeping rhythm with his heart. And then, against the chaotic backdrop of the hospital, hope ignited. A sudden rush of buzzing filled the room as a nurse entered. "Family is here?" she asked, glancing between them. "Yes, I'm his brother," Tom managed to say, wiping his face as he tried to regain composure. The nurse's expression softened, signaling a shift from bleakness to an unexpected possibility. "We've been waiting. His doctor is on the way. We may have news." Tom's breath caught in his throat. "Good news?" he whispered, desperate for anything that would turn this dark night into dawn. "There's been a slight change," she replied carefully. "We'll know more shortly." Hope, like a fragile thread, wove its way back into Tom's heart. But a pit of dread lingered. What would that news bring? As they waited, silence wrapped around them, heavy yet comforting. Sarah stood close, her presence a calm amidst the turmoil. "Whatever happens, I'm here," she reassured him, her voice a tender whisper. Tom turned to face her, feeling the enormity of the moment. The battle wasn't over, in fact, it had just begun. He had to prepare himself, not just for Matt's sake but for everyone who cared about him, including Emily. Just as he contemplated the battles ahead, the door swung open, and a doctor stepped in. Tom's heart raced. "Tom Miller?" the doctor asked, his expression unreadable. "Yes, what is it?" Tom asked, dread suddenly clawing at his throat. The doctor inhaled deeply, as though steeling himself. "For impact. We may need to talk about the options we have." Tom's mind whirled. Was this the moment of truth, the critical juncture where decisions needed to be made? Would he have to let go, or was there hope after all? As the doctor began to speak, Tom realized he faced not just choices for Matt but for everyone he held dear. Where would this lead him? Please, he thought, a prayer threading through his heart, just let him wake up. With fate hanging in the balance, what would he do next as life teetered on the edge of possibility? Tom's heart raced, each pulse echoing against the stillness in the room. The doctor's somber face felt like a tightening vice around his chest. Every instinct screamed at him to brace for the worst. "Options?" Tom croaked, his voice almost breaking. The word hung in the air, ominous and heavy. He had imagined this moment differently, he had imagined it filled with relief, not dread. The doctor stepped deeper into the room, his gaze flicking briefly to Matt before returning to Tom. "I understand this is overwhelming," he said. "What I mean is, there's been a change in Matt's condition, a slight improvement. But we need to discuss what that could mean moving forward." Tom felt a flicker of hope, but it was quickly shadowed by uncertainty. What kind of improvement? He swallowed hard, the lump in his throat growing as the doctor started explaining. "He's responding to stimuli," the doctor continued. "There are signs of brain activity and reflexes. This suggests he might be coming out of the coma. However, there are still complications that we need to navigate carefully. Coming out? Tom echoed, the possibility wrapping around him like a warm blanket. Could it really be true? Exactly. But we must manage expectations. We can support him, but it's unclear how much he'll be able to communicate or remember, the doctor replied, as if sensing Tom's surge of emotion. With the right care and environment, he may wake up, but we need your support, your love. Tom's mind flooded with images of their childhood, the times they laughed together, the adventures they had dreamed up. Every moment felt vital now. What can I do? He whispered, almost to himself. Be present. Speak to him, tell him stories, but more importantly, allow him the space to heal. Family is a powerful motivator. Matt and Matt have fought together a long time. The doctor's eyes softened. You can renew that bond. As the doctor continued to speak, Tom's focus drifted again to Matt. The stillness of his brother's form felt like a challenge, one that demanded strength and commitment. He took in every subtle detail, the gentle rise and fall of his chest, the faint twitch of his fingers. Hope flickered like a candle against the wind, flickering yet persistent. Tom. Sarah's voice broke through his thoughts, steady but laced with concern. Are you all right? He turned to her, feeling a mixture of gratitude and vulnerability. She believed in him, in Matt, in the impossible. I can't lose him, Sarah. Not now. Not when there's a chance. Her nod was soft yet resolute. Whatever it takes, we'll be here for him. You don't have to do this alone. The doctor stepped back, sensing the weight of the moment. I'll leave you two for now. Take some time and let me know if you have any questions. Once the doctor left, silence enveloped them again. Tom returned his focus to Matt. He took a deep breath. Hey, Matt, he began, his voice steadying. It's me. You remember those Saturday afternoons we spent playing video games? I want to beat you again. It's been too long. He paused, waiting for a sign, anything. Remember the time we decided to build that tree fort? You had every tool laid out, and we ended up just sitting on the ground laughing after 10 minutes. Nothing. Just the steady hum of the machines around him. Come on, brother. You have to wake up. I miss you. Tom let out a shaky breath, tears lining his eyes again, but this time, they felt lighter. The hope blossoming in his chest gave him courage. And then, against all odds, he saw a small flicker of movement in Matt's fingers, almost imperceptible but undeniably there. Matt? He called, his voice catching in his throat as his heart raced with anticipation. Please, if you can hear me, just come back to us. As he held his brother's hand tighter, a wave of emotion washed over him. Could this be the moment? Could this be the spark that ignited Matt's fight? Just then, the door swung open again, and a young nurse stepped in, her smile brightening the somber room. As she approached, Tom felt an unexplainable shift in energy that radiated from her presence. Hi, I'm Claire, she said, her voice soothing yet filled with a spark of life. I've been monitoring your brother. I know things seem bleak, but we're seeing improvements. Tom met her eyes, feeling a momentary connection, a glimmer of understanding that he wasn't alone in this battle. Thank you, he mumbled, overwhelmed by the kindness he saw in her gaze. Then, Claire leaned closer to Matt. Hey there, you. You have so many people rooting for you. You got this. At that moment, Tom felt the weight of the world shift slightly. Hope returned, but so did a question: was there more to Claire than just another nurse in a hospital? What role would she play in this journey? As he pondered her impact in their fight, Tom felt a pulse of determination. This was only the beginning. With Claire's unexpected entrance, there was much more to uncover and discover. Could the love shared among family lead to an even greater connection beyond the boundaries of brotherhood? The next step in this journey was about more than just waking Matt. it was about finding strength in love, in every form. And with Matt teetering on the brink of awareness, Tom felt the uncertainty multiply. What if Matt remembered everything? Would he recognize the hidden connections and the weight of those unspoken words waiting in the shadows? But for now, one thing was clear, the journey was just beginning. Tom felt the room pulse with a strange kind of energy as Claire stayed close, whispering words of encouragement to Matt. Her presence seemed to ignite something in him, an ember of hope that had barely flickered to life. Was it possible that this nurse, with her gentle laughter and bright smile, could offer not just medical support, but emotional fuel? "I've been studying his stats," Claire said, pulling a tablet from her pocket. "There have been signs like I mentioned earlier with the improvements, they're subtle but promising." Tom leaned in, captivated. "What do you mean by subtle?" "Small changes," she explained. "More consistent eye movement, an increased response to sound. It's not a miracle overnight, but it's progress. We need to keep talking to him. Even when it seems like it's just the machines beeping, he can hear you, trust me." Tom nodded slowly, soaking in the reality in front of him. He tore his gaze away from Matt's still form to glance at Claire. "You really believe that?" "Absolutely," she replied, her face lighting up with conviction. "The human connection is powerful. It helps in more ways than we can see." Taking a chance, Tom swallowed hard and took a deep breath. "Maybe can you help me talk to him? I want to do it right. I want him to know that he is loved, and that we're all here, fighting for him." "Of course," Claire said, her voice softening as she stepped to his side. Together, they knelt next to Matt's bed. Tom's heart felt louder now, beating with purpose rather than fear. "Matt," he began, glancing between his brother and the nurse. "You're not alone. I'm right here with you. We all are." He stole a quick glance at Claire, who was nodding encouragingly. "I know things have been rough, but please, fight for us. Remember the plans we made? There's so much we still have to do." He felt a tremor beneath his fingers, a small twitch that sent a surge of adrenaline through him. "Matt, if you can hear me, give us a sign. Just anything." Silence lingered for a moment, but it was different. It felt charged. Tom felt Claire's hand rest gently on his back, a calming presence among the whirlwind of emotions bubbling inside him. "Tell him about the future," Claire suggested. "Let him know what's waiting for him." Tom thought hard. "I remember that concert we wanted to go to, remember how we promised to go together. You've got to wake up for that, Matt. We have to go. You can't miss out on that energy. Our favorite band is coming back, and I need you there with me, singing along." His words hung in the air, absorbing every ounce of hope he had. But then, as if in response to his plea, he felt another slight movement. It was more vigorous this time, like a flicker of life sparking to the surface. "Matt! Is that you?" Tom gasped, adrenaline forcing a smile onto his face. Claire's eyes widened with excitement. "You see that? That's a good sign, Tom. Keep talking to him. Come on, brother." Tom urged, squeezing Matt's hand. "Just one little sign, one small move. I believe in you." More movement, and then Tom could hardly breathe. Matt's eyelids fluttered slightly, as if trying to fight against the darkness that had held him captive for 5 months. "Matt, you're doing it. Stay with us." The words burst from Tom, thick and desperate. Tom locked eyes with Claire, a shared understanding flipping between them. She looked thrilled, filled with that same electricity that surged through him. But as he sank back into the moment, another thought tugged at his heart. What if Matt came back, but things changed forever? A hint of fear nested in his chest, mingling with the hope. What memories would Matt carry? Would he wake up terrified? As Tom pondered the implications of his brother's awakening, he felt the warmth of Claire's hand on his shoulder. "You have the strength for this. You're not just his brother, you're his warrior." Tom nodded, steeling himself for the fight ahead. Because no matter what happened, he would stand by his brother. He would help him to navigate the tangled web of memories and emotions that lay waiting on the other side of the coma. But the question loomed large: what would they find on that journey together? What choices would Matt face when he awakened? As the machines continued their rhythmic beeping, Tom realized they weren't just fighting for Matt's life, they were fighting for their shared future. This was just the opening act in a long, demanding play. With anticipation crackling in the air, what would be revealed when Matt's eyes finally opened? Tom barely blinked as he fixed his gaze on Matt. Every flicker, every sound seemed monumental. Claire remained by his side, her presence a steady anchor in a sea of uncertainty. They watched the monitors, the rhythmic beeping synced with the heart-stopping moments that unfolded in the room. "Keep talking," Claire urged softly. "Yes, responding, I can feel it." Tom hesitated, then took a breath overwhelmed with emotion. "Matt, I believe in you. It's hard without you here. I want to hear you laugh again, to share those dumb jokes we always laughed at. Remember the one about the chicken? The one you loved to recite over and over for no reason? Let us bring that back." There was no immediate response, just the soft hum of machines and the pressure of hope weighing heavily on their shoulders. But inside him, Tom clung to the belief that they were on the brink of something enormous. "Matt, if you wake up, I promise we'll make those plans happen. We'll go on that hike we talked about, conquer that mountain together. And afterward, burgers and fries at that little shack down by the lake." His voice caught in his throat. "I love you, man. Just come back to us." Then, to his absolute disbelief, a weak movement rippled through Matt's fingers, like a whisper of life. Tom jolted back, unable to contain the hope surging within him. "Did you just feel that, Claire?" He moved. "I swear." "Yes. Yes." Claire nearly bounced on her feet, wide-eyed and full of inspiration. "Keep going, Tom. You're breaking through. Matt, can you hear me?" Tom's heart raced. "We need you. I know it's tough, but there's so much waiting for you. Friends, family, and a world full of opportunities. You're not alone in this fight." As he spoke, Matt's eyelids twitched again, this time holding promise. A flicker, a flutter, but it felt tangible, alive with possibility. If only he knew how to coax more life from his brother. Claire leaned closer. "Tell him about your life, what he is missing. Share the joy." Tom nodded, energy sparking in him. "Remember Rachel? She's been checking in on you. I swear she's planning some big surprise when you wake up. She needs you to come back, just as much as I do." There was an awkward silence, filled only by the machinery. But Tom sensed something unique in that stillness. Hope didn't feel like a distant glimmer anymore, it felt like a heartbeat, synchronized with his own. "Matt, you're stronger than you know," he implored. "And so are we. Remember all those times we faced challenges together? You've always pushed through. This is just another fight." Tom took a breath, feeling a warm rush of adrenaline. And then, without warning, Matt's eyes blinked open slowly, barely, but undeniably. Tom's breath hitched. "Oh my God. Matt. Can you hear me? Please, just move again or give me a sign." Matt's gaze grew hazy as he struggled to connect to the world around him. It was a moment suspended in air, heavy with emotion, a confusion of relief and dread spiraling through Tom's gut. What did awakening mean? Claire squeezed Tom's shoulder, whispering fiercely, "This is it. You're doing it, Tom." Then, with every ounce of hope, Matt's lips parted slightly. His voice emerged, hoarse and faint. "Tom. Matt." Tom felt tears prick at his eyes, his heart racing. "You made it. I'm right here." It hurts so dark," Matt murmured, brows wrinkling. "What is happening?" The fragile balance shifted, the excitement barely holding steady against a tidal wave of questions. "You're safe, Matt. You're in the hospital, and we've been here, everyone has. Just focus on me." But Tom's heart sank as fear made its way in. What did it really mean for Matt to awaken? Would he still be Matt? He looked at Claire, her eyes reflecting both joy and unease. "What do we do now?" he whispered, panic rising. As Matt blinked at the faces around him, Tom realized they were on the brink of redefining everything. Hope and fear tangled together tighter than ever before. What changes would Matt have to navigate in this new reality? And as memories lay dormant, waiting to resurface, one troubling thought lingered: what truths would be revealed about their lives, their bonds, once the fog of darkness lifted? Tom felt a lump in his throat as he watched Matt's eyes dart around the room, trying to make sense of everything. The machines beeped and whirred, a jarring contrast to the fragile hope hanging in the air. Tom wanted to reach out, to touch his brother, but he held back, uncertain of how to bridge the gap between their worlds. "Matt, you're going to be okay," Claire said, her voice steady yet soft. She brushed a lock of hair from her forehead and looked at Matt with a fierce determination. "Just keep breathing. You're with us now. You're not alone." "Tom." Matt croaked again, his voice barely above a whisper. It trembled, thick with confusion and fear. "What happened to me?" Tom's heart twisted. This was the moment they had waited for, yet it felt surreal. "You were in an accident, Matt. It was really serious. You've been fighting, and now you came back to us." The corners of Matt's mouth turned down, as he processed Tom's words. "An accident? How long?" "5 months, Claire replied before Tom could respond. "You've been in a coma, but you fought your way back to us." Matt's brow furrowed deeper. 5 months. Tom nodded, a lump forming in his throat again. "We've been here the whole time. We never gave up on you." Matt's eyes filled with a flicker of something, maybe hope, maybe fear. I don't remember. It's all dark." The silence hung heavy in the room, each heartbeat pulsing with uncertainty. Tom shook his head, unsure how to comfort his brother. "That's okay. You don't need to remember right now. Just take it one moment at a time." He took a step closer, cautiously reaching for Matt's hand. The warmth of his brother's skin sent a surge of relief through him. "I want to go home," Matt said, his voice breaking. "I don't belong here." In that moment, Claire stepped in, her tone gentle yet firm. "Home is where the people you love are. And we're right here." She glanced at Tom, seeking his agreement. "You've got an entire life waiting for you. Let us focus on healing." Matt closed his eyes, the weight of his memories pressing down on him. Healing, but what if everything else changed? Tom swallowed hard. "We'll handle it together. No matter what happens, we're a team." Suddenly, the door swung open, and a nurse walked in, bright and cheerful. "Well, look who is finally awake," she exclaimed, her vibrant energy lighting up the room. She moved closer to Matt, taking his vitals, her touch soft and reassuring. "You've been missed, you know. Everyone has been waiting for you to wake up." Matt blinked at her, his expression shifting. Her easy smile and genuine warmth drew him in. Tom noticed the way Matt's eyes lingered on her, a spark of intrigue replacing the fog of confusion. "Can I get you some water?" she asked, her voice a soothing lull. "Yes, please," Matt whispered, his gaze still on her. As she poured the water, Claire exchanged a glance with Tom, a mix of surprise and something else swirling in her eyes. It was clear that the bond between Matt and the nurse, however brief, might signify something different. When she returned, she helped him sip from the cup, her fingers brushing against his lips. Matt's cheeks flushed a soft hue. "Thank you," he murmured, suddenly more present than before. Tom leaned against the wall, watching this unfold, the air thick with unexpected possibilities. What new connections would Matt form? Would he discover feelings he didn't even know were there? Then, just as quickly as it began, the moment shifted again. The nurse smiled warmly, her eyes sparkling. "You've got this, Matt. Just keep holding on to that will to recover." As she exited the room, Tom felt a flutter of anxiety. He was grateful for the nurse's kindness, but he couldn't shake the worry. Who would his brother become now? Everything felt uncertain, a new chapter stretching ahead, filled with unknown challenges and fresh connections. What comes next? Tom whispered to himself, knowing the journey was far from over. Matt turned to him, the light in his eyes stronger now. "Tom, I don't remember much, but I know I want to find out. Together." Tom's heart raced as he nodded. Together. But as he glanced toward the door where the nurse had just left, one question loomed: would Matt's path also involve a deeper bond with this unexpected newcomer? The next few days passed in a blur. Tom stood vigil by Matt's bedside, slipping into the rhythm of hospital life. Every beep of the machine seemed to echo in his chest, and each passing nurse stirred a mix of hope and anxiety. They were all so kind, providing little moments of comfort amid the clinical detachment of the hospital. But it was the nurse, Lily, who seemed to linger in Matt's mind long after her shift ended. "Do you think she'll be back?" Matt asked one evening. His voice was steadier, more grounded, as he looked to Tom, searching for answers. "Yeah, she works here. I'm sure you'll see her again," Tom replied, trying to sound casual, even if he felt a storm brewing in his heart. A part of him wished for Matt to focus on his recovery, but another part felt protective of the potential connection blossoming between his brother and the cheerful nurse. Matt's gaze lit up at the thought. "I really liked her," he said softly. The simplicity of his admission caught Tom off guard, and a rush of emotions flooded in: pride, concern, and a flicker of jealousy he couldn't quite shake off. As days turned into weeks, Matt's condition improved. Claire became his biggest advocate, pushing for therapy sessions and encouraging him to take small steps, both physically and emotionally. Tom found comfort in her steadfastness, but there was a weight to it all. He wondered how different Matt might be after this ordeal, what pieces of him might be lost and what new pieces might emerge. One afternoon, Tom sat with Matt on the edge of his hospital bed, helping him exercise his legs. With every movement, Matt winced, but he was determined. "I want to walk again," he insisted, gritting his teeth as they counted each lift together. "You will," Tom said. "One step at a time." Just as Matt finally managed to straighten his leg, the door swung open again, and in walked Lily, like a breath of fresh air. A smile broke across her face at the sight of Matt. "Look at you. Working hard, I see." Matt's face lit up. Trying to catch up, he joked, clearly pleased to have her attention. Tom could feel the energy shift in the room. The light-hearted banter between them was infectious, and he quietly stepped back, watching them interact. It felt different this time. There was a spark that wasn't there before. It was an unspoken connection, even in the way they exchanged glances. "Do you need anything? Water? A snack? Just say the word," Lily said, her enthusiasm palpable. Matt waved her off, the shyness creeping back in. "Just you being here is enough." She blushed, and Tom felt a twinge of warmth in the moment. Maybe this was what Matt needed, someone who could help him reconnect with life beyond the hospital walls. As they continued to chat, Tom's thoughts drifted. Could Matt love again? Could he rebuild himself into someone new, someone stronger? The uncertainty weighed on him. Whenever Matt smiled or laughed, a part of Tom felt hopeful, yet worried about how different Matt could become, not just in body, but in spirit. "Your turn to tell me about your day," Matt finally said, laughing lightheartedly. "Keep it interesting." Tom opened his mouth to respond, but as he looked at Lily, something caught his throat. How could he share everything they'd been through without worrying this might scare her away? Then Matt's eyes shifted as he looked at Lily, and in that small moment, Tom realized he had to let go of his fears. "Actually, it's been circuitous," but I think I'm okay." Tom took a deep breath, sharing snippets of their life before the accident, how they loved to bike together, and the dreams they had. As they spoke, the air simmered with promises of friendship and potential, every shared laugh weaving something hopeful into the fabric of their lives. But just as quickly as that warmth surrounded them, it was gone. Lily's phone buzzed, breaking the spell. "I have to get back, but I'll check on you later." "I promise," she said, turning to Matt with sincerity. "Okay," he replied, his tone laced with yearning. "I'll be right here." With that, she left, and the atmosphere felt different. A mix of excitement and uncertainty lingered in the room. Tom looked at Matt, sensing the shift in him. "You like her, don't you?" he asked. Matt nodded slowly, a contemplative expression washing over his face. "Yeah, I think I do, but I don't know if I'm ready." The words hung heavy in the air. Tom's heart raced again, not knowing if this blossoming feeling could lead to a bright future or if it would complicate everything. Could love return amidst such chaos? The next moment was telling. Matt's smile faded as he whispered, "What if I can't handle it?" The fear in his brother's voice struck Tom hard. He reached out, gripping Matt's shoulder. "You won't know unless you try. We'll figure this out together." But as he spoke, Tom couldn't shake the nagging thought, was it okay to hope for love again, or were they both racing toward yet another heartbreak? Only time would reveal that answer, but one thing was certain, the journey was just beginning. Tom struggled to find the right words, but he knew that saying them was crucial. "Matt, listen to me," he began, his voice steady despite the whirlwind of emotions swirling inside him. "You've been through hell and back. You were gone for so long, but you're here now. This is a chance to start fresh. You don't have to fight alone." Matt's eyes searched Tom's, vulnerability radiating from him. "But how do I know if I'm still me?" Tom clenched his fists. "You're still Matt. No matter what happened, you're still in there. You don't have to worry about the person you were before. Focus on who you want to be now." Slowly, understanding flickered in Matt's eyes, a small spark amidst the shadows of uncertainty. "And what if I want to be someone who loves again?" A wave of relief washed over Tom. "Then do it. You have every right to feel, to seek happiness, to connect with people like Lily. This is your journey, and you get to decide where it leads." But the doubt still lingered in the corners of Matt's mind. "What if I mess up? What if I ruin everything?" "Then we'll pick up the pieces together," Tom assured him. "Family means facing the storm side by side. You're not just my brother, you're my anchor. I want to let you go through it all alone." Just then, another tide shifted in the room. His door swung open, and Lily stepped back inside, brightening the air once more. "Hey. I came back early. I couldn't wait to check on my favorite patient." Matt's face lit up, and for a moment, the fear faded as he absorbed her presence. "You came back?" he managed to whisper, a shy smile creeping onto his lips. "Of course. I couldn't leave without hearing about all your bravery," she teased playfully as she settled into the chair beside his bed. Within moments, the atmosphere transformed, energy raced between them, lighting the room. Tom took a step back, watching them reconnect. It was stunning to witness Matt opening up, piece by piece, spotting laughter where shadows once loomed. Every giggle, every shared secret reviving old sparkles of life. "Can I just say how impressive it is that you're already working on your recovery? It makes my heart sing hearing about your journey," from Tom. Lily said enthusiastically. Tom felt a warmth blossom within him as he pulled back, letting them share the moment. Matt was alive again, the joy radiating between them brighter than anything Tom had seen in months. With each shared laugh, Tom sensed the transformation taking shape before his eyes, Matt the fighter, Matt the dreamer, and perhaps, Matt the lover. Days passed, with each of Matt's progress marking a hopeful crescendo. He began therapy sessions and gained the strength to sit up. Slowly, he stood, shaky but resolute. Every small victory fueled his connection with Lily, turning mutual admiration into a budding friendship. One day, as they took a break from therapy, Matt leaned back against a wall, a hint of mischief in his eyes. "So, what is the plan for tonight? If you have a second, I could use a movie buddy," he said, glancing toward Lily. She raised her eyebrows, clearly taken aback. "Really? You'd want me to join you for a movie?" "Absolutely," he said, enthusiasm dancing in his eyes. "I promise I won't fall asleep this time." In that moment, Tom felt a swell of pride. His brother was stepping toward life again, ready to explore new connections, and it was beautiful. "You should definitely go for it," he encouraged. "I've watched you battle through hell. Now, you get to enjoy the light." Matt glanced at Tom, uncertainty still looming. "What if I mess this up?" Tom placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "Then we learn. Remember, your journey is about discovering who you want to be now, it's safe for you to explore." With a deep breath, Matt turned back toward Lily, a new resolve in his tone. "So, how about a popcorn binge on the couch tonight?" With a smile that lit up her entire face, Lily replied, "Sounds perfect to me." The weight on Tom's heart lifted. Watching them, he felt the bonds of renewal tightening their grip not just on Matt, but on himself. Together, they were on a journey of rediscovery, facing challenges as they had always done, the love and laughter rising over the darkness. But even so, a part of Tom remained haunted. Would Matt's new journey connect him to Lily in ways that might pull him away from Tom's side? Would their fragile dynamic shift into something deeper, something he struggled to understand? As the first notes of laughter echoed in the hospital room, Tom realized this was more than just a step toward healing for Matt, it was a chance for both of them to find their footing in life again. They were not alone together, they would embrace whatever emerged from the depths of their pasts. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, Tom stood tall, ready to fight for love, for growth, for life renewed. No matter where their paths may lead, there was one promise he vowed to keep: they would face everything together. Now, as you finish this incredible journey with Tom and Matt, I need you to take action. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm, it truly makes a difference. Comment your reactions and feelings about this touching ending. And, above all, share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. This is the moment to show your support. Don't wait not even one more second to share. Only true fans understand the power of unity and love reflected through actions.